Only about 5% of creators actually succeed. And I'm going to share with you the tips and secrets that's going to make you be one of those 5%. And hopefully that 5% continues to get bigger and bigger. My name is Mohammad Fattal. I'm the founder and CEO of Alfan. We helped creators make over $100 million, and we are on a journey to help creators make over $1 billion. Working with creators for the past 10 years, I have learned a lot. We have seen a lot. And working with those creators, many of them today have succeeded. But some of those creators we have witnessed throughout our journey have not, unfortunately. And that is due to a lot of reasons. Yes, there is motivation. They didn't figure out the algorithm, but actually the problem is much, much deeper, and the solution is much, much simpler. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the biggest reason why creators fail, and the fifth reason actually was the biggest reason why these creators are failing, and I'm going to share with you the lessons on how to avoid it. Now, in the beginning, it's very important to create value when you create content. I'll give you a simple example. Have you seen those creators that did those viral TikTok trends or Instagram trends? You probably don't even remember their names. Why? Because as a viewer, they didn't provide you value. But then there's probably that person on social with maybe 10,000 followers that you clearly remember who their name is, right? That is the example and the difference between adding value to a creator or to the audience and not adding value. So when you're creating your content, think of it in any genre. A value here does not mean education. A value here is that you made them laugh. A value here is that you educated them, sure. A value here is that you inspired them. If you don't add value early on enough to your audience, then most likely they're not going to succeed. Well, I mean, you are not going to succeed. Your fans are going to succeed regardless. I'll give you guys a perfect example. You know when you go on a YouTube channel and then it has 20K subs and you see the comments saying like, hey, you deserve way more subscribers than you have. That is because the amount of value they gave that person who commented was insane. And if you focus on doing that with every single piece of content, you will be able to build an audience. I have seen channels with millions of subscribers and millions of followers who have built up those audience. And if you go and check them today, that channel is not active because the creator wasn't able to monetize because they didn't build real fandom. Real fandom does not come from the trends, it comes from the value that you provide. So make sure you understand that point. The second most important point. We've been used to dopamine hits, right? Especially with the short form content that's been coming out. So imagine creating the content and not monetizing till you reach 1 million followers or even 100K followers. My advice is if you can make money even with 100 followers, you should start to do that. Why? I remember when I started my career in the creator space, I don't forget that first $30 that I made. Or even once I got invited to speak at an event and they asked me how much you'd want, I charged them $3,000. Today, it doesn't mean maybe much, but the memory of that opportunity excited me. The fact that someone was willing to pay me $3,000 to speak at an event 5 years ago was a very inspiring moment that allowed me to kind of continue and pursue and believe in myself. So monetize as early as you can, and platforms like Alfan.io can really help you make money even with 100 followers. One major thing you need to realize as well, and we saw it in the US when they said TikTok was going to get banned. People thought their life was coming to an end. At the end of the day, I love the social platforms, but consider them as the new TV channels of our generation. You should not be dependent on uploading into one platform. The hardest part today is the video that you create, especially if you're trying to add value to the viewer in it. Make sure you take that piece of content and you upload it everywhere. You don't know which platform is going to give you that algorithm boost and which platform is going to actually be the best one for the niche audience that you have. Because every social platform today has a very different audience. It could be similar people, but if you think about it yourself, you'll probably use 2 social platforms out of the top 6, and that's why your viewers will be all across. So by reducing your platform dependability, if you succeed somewhere else or if platform stops doing too well, you're still being very successful and it's not going to affect you. An example, who here remembers the Vine creators, right? There are people like Logan Paul and a lot of those guys came out from Vine, but the ones that succeeded on Vine and didn't know how to transfer that audience somewhere else, they don't exist anymore. So don't depend on one platform. The fourth example, and this is like the cliche that they talk about in the industry, but not being consistent. I'll give you guys a perfect example. Imagine you go to a coffee shop, you try their coffee and you love it. And then you decide to go the next day and that coffee shop is closed because the owner said, I don't feel it today. And then the next day. If you really want to be serious about building a career in the creator economy, then you need to figure out how to become consistent. It's not about posting every single day. Maybe your consistency is 1 video a month, but the idea is really putting in those habits, and this works with everything in life, right? Have you seen anybody become fit by not being consistent at the gym? Have you ever seen anybody succeed running their startup or business by not being consistent at doubling down and putting in more work? It's the same thing as being a creator. You are the new generation of media companies. Be consistent in the content you create and continue to to try add value and see what that rhythm means for you and use it as an exchange of quality versus time, right? It's not about having the most high-end content. It's about being able to put out as many pieces of content as you can, because you never know which video will go viral. I saw a story about Darman, how he was posting hundreds of videos and they didn't succeed. And one day he decided to upload one, and that video was the reason his life changed, right? So there are a lot of these creators that today, them being consistent for long enough was the true reason for their success. And the ones that you don't see them in the market are probably the ones that just gave up. And that's the same thing for any business in the world, anything in life. I bet you guys can't even give me one example where somebody was not consistent and actually did succeed. And if they did, it'll be very, very short-term success. And the fifth most important advice is when you're building this creator job and you're trying to create content and build it as a business, not treating it like a business or not treating it like what you're actually building, which is a media company. When you want to think of a media company, at the end of the day, what is your goal? Your goal is to build that audience, build that traffic, and then funnel it somewhere. Now, as a creator, you can make money in three ways. You can make money from platforms, which is the hardest amount of revenue to get because you have to get millions and millions of views. Make money with brand deals. And the third easiest way is to actually make money from your fans, right? And I'm not here to say like to rip them off. No, the idea here is you're able to add enough value where they actually get value from purchasing something through you. So what I mean here is if you don't treat your business or your creator job like a media company and you have nothing being funneled towards your business, then you're probably missing out on a major opportunity. You won't be able to monetize consistently enough, and you'll be waiting to chase that brand deal that might come once every month, once every week, depending how lucky you are. And if you think about it, every media company out there is funneling traffic one way or another. I could be creating content here because brands see that we are very good with creators, and a lot of these brands do come to me, so I funnel that traffic very well. And you as creators, you come in, you sign up to our platform, that builds our community to become much bigger, which will allow us to drive more impact to you. Every creator should be funneling traffic in a certain way, whether it's to an offline event, whether it's to a community, whether it's to a digital product, whether it's to a course, whether it's to a physical product, Alfan shop where you're promoting products that you love and earning affiliate commissions. Funnel that audience back towards you and you will start to see that revenue come in. And then this way you treat it like a business. Because if you're not funneling that traffic, then you're not getting the customers. Actually, this is even more important than this last advice. Every client that you get, treat them like they're your first ever customer. Try and make sure that they're happy with you. Even if the brand is working with you, try and put more effort towards it. Because guess what? The hardest part is getting that traffic from your funnel. But then when you want to retain them, just by doing a good job, they'll be happy with you. Be responsive, reply to comments, engage with your audience and fans, reply to your brand, do the job that you agreed with them. Doing all of these things will make sure that you retain your customers. And one of the key things that helped us succeed in the Alfan is by having over 85 or 90% retention at times is because we take really good care of our brand partners and creators. So don't just funnel them here, actually retain them. Take care of your customers, and these customers are your fans and brands. Be consistent, add the right value to your audience, and try to monetize early on in your career. And I bet you by following this framework, the level of success you're gonna have, actually you missed one point. By signing up to alfan.io, that's gonna increase your levels of success. We've seen it, and we've supported a lot of creators to help them make over $100 million, and we're excited for where that journey goes. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll see you in the next video.